this video you'll get an overview of how you can use 3Shape Ortho System to create a small series of corrective aligners for a simple social 6 case. The patient on screen obviously has other problems too, but we will, in this video, focus on the movement of the upper interior teeth and take you through the entire workflow, from putting on a base for production, how to move teeth into correct position for the ideal setup, and how to make all the intermediate steps on which you will print the models that will be the basis for your thermos forming. On the left part of the screen, we see a scan of the current malocclusion from a Trio scan, but the input could just as well have come from a 3Shape desktop scanner. The next step is to put on the base for production. When putting a base on the model, you need to draw an outline on the model to determine which part of the gingiva is discarded and how much is needed on your model. Make sure to keep enough gingiva as the aligner will need, including a small safety margin of a few millimeters, depending on the doctor's preferences. This is done for both jaws. In the software, you can then choose between different bases. Here we have chosen a small base. Once the software has generated the base, you are able to cut in the height to reduce the use of material when printing. Once the base is ready, you are now ready to move on. We now have the model finished with the base on and are now ready to move the teeth. The first step is to determine where each individual tooth begins and ends. This is a very simple operation where you click on the mesial and distal points of the individual teeth. Once this is done, the software will automatically determine the gingiva line for you. Based on your input, the software will turn the individual teeth into 3D models, and you are now able to start correcting their position. It is very simple to move the teeth in the software. You simply double-click on one of the teeth you wish to adjust the position of, and movement controls will appear. You can use either mouse or keyboard to perform movement. One by one, you move the teeth into the correct position. At all times, you have a complete overview of the movements you have performed and easily make adjustments from this table. The software has full collision control that can be activated to help show where there are contacts between the teeth, but also the antagonist. In the software, you will also be able to make interproximal reduction and even do extractions to accommodate space needed to reach the ideal setup. Here we have the final setup for the Social 6 case. As mentioned earlier, this patient has other problems, but in this video we focus on how to make a quick Social 6 correction. When assessing the final setup, you can click on a tooth to see how much movement has been applied from the original position. You can also retrieve a complete overview of movement applied to all the individual teeth. And this overview is important for you to determine how many aligners are needed for your case at hand. In this case, we look for the biggest value under, for example, rotation, and find the value 19.1 degrees, which we need to bear in mind when deciding the number of aligners that will allow a rotation as big as this. You can now input to the software how many aligners you wish to produce. In this case, we would like to use 9 aligners to get from the current malocclusion to the ideal setup. And now the software has automatically generated all the intermediate steps. The first aligner in this series is named Original with Attachments. This will allow you to place attachments on the case in the 3Shape software. It will not be demoed in this video, but rest assured that there's full capability to place, rotate, change the size of the attachments on all the teeth in the 3Shape software as you see fit. The 3Shape software will also export a setup that will help place these attachments on the patient. As a powerful sales tool, you'll also be able to generate a short video to share with the doctor or patient on the envisioned result of the planned treatment. Here you can see that it is generating a tiny video of the teeth moving into the correct position. Videos are automatically saved in the patient browser. That was the last step. The only thing we need now is to export all of the models. This concludes the video on how to make the models for aligners in the Ortho system. Thank you for watching.